Yes, sir. Yo, what's good? My name is Micah Weston. Thank you so much for locking in on this video. Today, I want to explain how to use my favorite plugin out right now, Portal by Output. Just simply put, man, Portal is just super unique. If you're looking for a tool to mangle sounds and to twist things up and to make things come alive, then I suggest you go and cop that right now. Man, just like a lot of plugins that I use, I gotta keep it 100. Like, I'm not always super well versed on using that specific plugin. Like Portal was pretty much the same deal, just going through the 250 presets, which are all super fire. You can't really go wrong with them. But in all honesty, man, it wasn't until a few hours ago that I felt like, yo, I need to really learn how to use this thing. So after reading the manual, trying things out, really trying to just understand what does what, I figured why not make a video and share this information with you guys. So as I mentioned, Portal is freaking crazy. It's my favorite plugin out right now. It's a granular effects. So at the base level, what does granular even mean? I had to pull up on dictionary.com. I ain't even gonna hold you. So the word granular is an adjective and it means resembling or consisting of small grains or particles.
Damn.
I had to do a little bit more research. So granulation is the process in which an audio sample is broken down into tiny segments of audio. And these segments are called grains. Yeah, so grains are super tiny pieces of audio, like microscopic size pieces of audio, if you can imagine that in your head. And they can be as long as 1 to 100 milliseconds in length. So that's super short. But in the terms of audio manipulation, that's like surgically deep, detailed audio processing right there. And without any further ado, let's open up Portal right now and break down every single knob on this thing. So here is the main page, and the main page is pretty simple. We have the XY control, which works hand in hand with these macros over here. But on this main page, we also have the dry and wet knob, which is pretty self-explanatory. This controls how much of the wet signal that you hear or how much of the dry signal that you hear. We also have a reverse knob. From what I've experienced and heard from this plugin using this reverse knob is that it sounds like it reverses the initial transient that come through. Right here, we have our preset browser. You click that, you get a whole bunch of folders over here, different categories of 250 presets, like how I mentioned before. But going back to the main page, if you click the icon right underneath, right here, it takes us to the advanced page. The advanced page is really where the engine of this whole operation is located. And down here we have modulation envelopes. To the right we have effects. We have also the XY control again, and we have a master that has a compressor on it. I'm gonna go ahead and clear out these modulation envelopes by just clicking clear. I'm gonna edit this stuff later on, so I'm gonna just turn them off actually by just clicking the power button. I have a beat that I made years ago. I probably literally made it in like 2018. And I have the melody of it, just some basic chords. And let me just play that for you guys right now with Portal muted. And when turning Portal back on and playing the sample, it already sounds like the sample is being triggered some kind of way. Like as it's going through the engine of Portal, it sounds like it's already stuttering. Like maybe the grains of this sound are already being triggered and stimulated. Let's go ahead and just break down what these knobs are doing. And to the left right here, we have the section that's titled Stretch. This section is dedicated to like the speed in which Portal is going to be manipulating the incoming audio. And by speed, I really mean how slow it slows down the incoming audio, because that's all that it's doing when you manipulate it over here. So we can take speed and we can literally just drag it back. And we can hear that. It's really being stretched. The grains of the sample you can hear are literally being stretched out. As you can see here, there is a sync button. You can sync the speed to the host, which is your DAW, whatever tempo that your DAW is at. I'm currently at 83 BPM right now. And right below that, we have the retrigger knob. So the retrigger knob pretty much moves the playhead of Portal to a different section of the audio that's coming in. So let me go ahead and play that and move this trigger knob around. Crazy. Sounds like a lot more is coming through when it's turned all the way up. It's almost like, and not even almost like, I know exactly what's happening. Like even some of the grains of the audio coming in are being skipped, like completely just skipped, and it's adding like new rhythm and almost like a whole new melody to this melody, man. So right here we have a knob titled density, and density determines how often in time grains are sampled from the audio. So when it's turned all the way down like that, it's faster and I hear a lot more stuttering. These diamonds, just by turning them up like that, this triggers whatever knob it is to modulate randomly as audio comes through. So check this out. I'm going to turn it down actually and gradually bring it in. That's pretty crazy. The pitch right here and scale work together. Scale, as you can see, it starts off on a chromatic scale and it moves up to fifths, it moves up to octaves, it moves up to pentatonic. So let me just show you guys how some of these settings sound. So regularly, chromatic, up one. Yes, sir. Moving forward, we have pan, and that's self-explanatory. Let's not forget that everything here on this screen, everything in this plugin can be modulated some kind of way. Just like how I showed you guys earlier with density, I said that density controls how often grains are being sampled. Offset right here controls the start point of grains that are generated at the same time. So I'm going to just fool around with these two so you guys can get an idea of how it sounds like. So I'm just going to tweak density a little bit more. I feel like I'm getting some interesting undertones from that. So let me not fail to mention these buttons right here. These are the locks right here. You can lock the ratio of offset to density, and you can also lock the ratio of density to the size of grains. When it's off, it's showing milliseconds. When it's on, it's showing ratio. And of course, you just want to get into this plugin and just tweak around with it to hear how the ratios sound to you. The count knob right here represents how many grains can be generated at one time. So by default, I believe it starts at 8. And that's how it sounds like at 1. Shape is super interesting. When I turn it up, things start to get softer. But when I turn it back, things get harsher. So the final section, grain delay. Playing our sample here. So we have the time in which the grains are being delayed. I'll turn that up. And we also have the feedback. Definitely hear that. And then we also have our low pass and high pass filters down at the bottom. All right, so now it's time to bring this whole plugin alive fully. And to do that, you have to move your attention to the modulation envelopes. The modulation envelopes are pretty simple to use. You're gonna just be literally just double clicking and dragging and moving around how you want the shapes to be down here. If you want to smooth out these lines, you're gonna literally just drag and pull around where these lines are. It's pretty simple. There are a few more things I want to explain about the modulation envelopes. So right here, just like in our grain controls, we have a sync button and we also have a random button. So if you're not in the mood to like just click through and manually find presets, you can just click the random button. Just random shapes, random envelope shapes and all of that. So then if you're not feeling it, of course, just clear it out and start over again. If I play music, you don't hear anything being modulated or tweaked yet. And that's because you have to assign these things to grain controls. Over here, we have our rate, and that's just controlling how fast the modulation will take place once it's assigned to one of these controls up here. Let's go ahead and just assign this to, assign it to stretch. I'm gonna pull back on stretch though, to make it slow. And pull this, drag this up, drag it straight to it just like that. I'm gonna turn this up a bit. Let's play it, hear how it sounds. So now that we're here, I can draw your attention to Humanize. If you turn up Humanize, every time that the envelope is making a cycle, you see how the shapes that I drew in modulation are actually changing every time that it cycles through. I'm gonna pull back the rate. I'm gonna make it slower. You can see the humanization also gets slower. I'm gonna drag this modulation to pan. Let's see what happens. I hear it moving over to the right, but I wanna make pan feel a lot more stereo. So I'm gonna just right click that modulation. I'm gonna take it from bipolar to set to bipolar. Yeah. And that can be done to any modulation on this grains control page. So let me not also forget that there is a dry wet button up here for the grain controls. So you can mix in exactly how much you want. All right, so now drawing our attention over here to where the XY control is, we have 3 categories, XY, effects, and master. Tapping into the effects, we have a bit reducer, we have chorus, we have distort, we have filter, phaser, reverb, delay. And of course, all of this can be modulated. Just turning it on though, let's just tweak and just have fun with this stuff over here. Delay is pretty self-explanatory. We all know how delay works. Dry wet knob. Stereo, ping pong delay. I can even add some modulation, of course, to the delay. Down here, I can add distortion. Actually, let me just add a filter to this. Let's modulate that cutoff. I'm not sure if this is gonna sound good or not. Whoa. We started off with this. Remember that. Now we're here. Crazy. And on master is literally just a compressor, and we all know how compressors work. So let's talk about this XY control, and let's talk about these two macros over here because they work together. As you can see, the macros also have those plus symbols, which means that they can be used as modulators. So let's go ahead and drag macro 1 to one of these grain controls. Let's go ahead and just drag it to, how weird should we get? Let's just drag it to density. I'm not even sure what's gonna happen completely. And you can also rename the macros. So I'll go ahead and just rename this density. And let's just rock with it. I just want to just tweak this a little bit more before I and then macro 2, I'm going to drag this over to offset. All right, and now let's tweak this XY. So in the hip hop space, like we're all making loops, we're all making samples, we're all trying to figure out how to make the most sonically pleasing, sonically interesting composition. The thing about Portal is I feel like it's so versatile and so unique that it's not like a plugin like RC20. And shout out to RC20. When you hear RC20, you know it's RC20. I feel like with Portal, it's so many different ways that you can use this plugin to tweak your sounds that it won't be so easy to just hear it and know that it is what it is, you know? So that's my main takeaway. It adds life to your sounds. Hey, yo, try to stick around for the special message from the sponsors of this video. But until next time, man, stay safe, stay encouraged, and keep making music. My name is Micah Weston, and I'm out. Are you looking for a way to get your music onto all the major streaming platforms like iTunes, Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon? Well, let me tell you about DistroKid. DistroKid is a digital music distribution service that musicians use to put their music onto all of these streaming services and online stores. Along with that, DistroKid collects earnings and payments and sends 100% of these earnings to their artists. They take no cut. So enjoy automatic revenue splits with your collaborators, hyper follow links so that your fans can find your music on release day, and lyric support so that all of your fans can sing along with you at your next show. With DistroKid, you're in charge of your career. Click the special link in the description of this video to receive 7% off your first year of DistroKid. Get your music heard today. What are you waiting on?